Hey Arcaders, Ray the Arcade Guy here from the arcadearchives.com, and I just got something in the mail I'm very, very excited about. This is a record album, and it's a very special album for me. It is a soundtrack to a movie that I grew up with that I loved so much growing up that not only did I have a VHS copy from HBO, I bought the actual VHS tape years ago that's in my collection. I either have the Blu-ray or the DVD that came out a few years ago of this movie, and that movie is called Joysticks. Now, it comes from a time that movies were very, very different. In the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, you had movies like Animal House and Porky's and other stuff that today probably wouldn't fit the social norm very well. And this movie fits into that. It doesn't make it a bad film. It's a lot of fun, actually. And it is probably the only movie in history that is solely focused on the arcade, meaning the story of this movie is about an arcade in California. And 90% of the film takes place in the actual arcade. That's what blew me away. Yeah, the movie was fun, and, for its time, you went to it with very low expectations, like most of us. But to hear the backstory, especially on the Blu-ray commentary of how they took an empty warehouse and built this beautiful arcade, of the early 80s, and to see it, it's probably one of the only representations we have of the early 80s arcade in it, a time capsule, if you will. And that's what makes the movie, to me, very, very special. So, about 10 years ago, I had gotten word that they were going to release the soundtrack to Joysticks on an album. And that was unheard of because, it was kind of late 70s, early 80s, music that just fit the movie. It wasn't really like something you would listen to every day, but to know that somebody loved this movie so much that they wanted to put it on a record, that was like a light bulb went off. I had to have it. Well, I had contacted Eczema Records, the people who released it, and I said I'd love to do an interview with guys and get a feel for why did you want to release this very obscure 80s schlock film, the soundtrack. And, I talked to them for a bit, and I believe the interview is still up on the archive somewhere. I'll have to look. And they gave me the MP3 album for free to review it, so I did. And suffice it to say, they got really good rips of the music from this movie. And clearly a lot of love was put into it. Now, I didn't buy the album. I sat on it for years, and I felt terrible. And I really, I have a very modest album collection now. It's not anything huge, but when it comes to soundtracks, I have a very special place in my heart, especially for movies I grew up with. So I have stuff like Up the Academy, another like Would Not Fly Today kind of movie, Over the Edge, so I was really into that whole late 70s, early 80s mold when it came to album soundtracks of movies I grew up with. So of course I had to have it. Well, years go by and I don't really think about it, and then one day I said, you know what? Let's see if these guys are still in business. Sure enough, their website's still up. And I said, I'm going to order the album, and let's see if it comes. Now, I think it was, with tax, it came to close to $30, but you got the MP3 download as well as the physical album itself, which arrived on Saturday. I have to say the packaging is really well done. It is solid. Unless somebody really folded it, nothing was going to happen to this album, so it should be in really good shape. These guys are it looks like they're in Washington, Eczema Records. Their website is very modest. I know that they had done several albums, but I specifically went on for this one, so check them out. I know that they wanted to be the purveyor of these obscure 70s/80s soundtracks, so hopefully they're doing well. And let's, without further ado, we've talked enough. Let's open this bad boy up and actually see what we got, okay? So again, packaging spot on. It's not, damaged in any way, shape, or form. A little bit here, but nothing major. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we got. And I've never really done a unboxing video of this magnitude before, so bear with me. I'm not used to this. I'm coming in late because they've been doing unboxing videos for 20 years now, probably. But this one meant a lot to me. Again, it was a movie I grew up with. I enjoy watching from time to time. It's mindless fun. If you're not into, it's not gratuitous nudity. It's like if you ever watched Porky's and things like that, it's more, kind of, I don't even call it slapstick, but it's more of, being jerks in high school and doing stupid things, kind of comedy, and that's where the nudity comes in. So it's there's no way to say it's tastefully done, but it's there. It was one of those movies that I really enjoyed for its ambiance, and then the kind of friendship you could tell. These people, it was, a low budget film, so they probably had to see each other for, a long time. So you hope that these people were like very friendly on set because they looked like they were friends. They looked like they were having a good time. And, so I really, really, really wanted this. So I'm excited. So let's take a look inside. All right, here we go. Well put together, like I said, nothing out of the ordinary. And oh, I couldn't have asked for a better open. Look at that! Oh my gosh. Okay. Joysticks. There it is, baby. Music from the motion picture Joysticks. And they did a little postcard. This is really, really cool. Eczema Records went all out. I mean, just to have like what looks like a stamp of Andrew McDorfus. Now, if you've never seen the movie, Andrew is a top scorer video game player, and he's playing Pac-Man when Eugene comes up and shuts his game off, and the two of them become lifelong friends. And I always imagine if they ever did a sequel to this movie, that literally they're still best buds and maybe they own the arcade. The album cover is really the movie poster without all the credits and everything else. Fantastic. Look at how beautiful that is. This epitomizes the early 80s in a nutshell. And again, if it's not up your alley, it's not your cup of tea, I understand completely. I bought this purely on memory and wanting that memory of this movie that I, really grew up with and had a great time watching it. So it looks fantastic. And then flip it over and look at that. Now that obviously they took a snapshot of the, an Atari 2600. There's the actual VHS that I have of Joysticks sitting right there. And, of course they have the screen, and here's the actual song selection right there. Just really cool stuff, guys. I'm really blown away by this whole thing. A lot of attention to detail, a lot of love obviously went into this album cover to show this kind of work. Now, if I was going to nitpick, I would have loved to have seen this be an actual arcade cabinet with the listings on the screen. It's like a high score, which they attempted to do here. And obviously, this is actually Smash TV right here. Wouldn't have played on the 2600, but still, the effort that they put in to show this is amazing. It is it blows my mind that this much effort was put into this beautiful piece of work. I mean, just look at how gorgeous, and of course the light shining on it, how gorgeous this album cover is. And I'm sad that I waited this long for it because it's beautiful. and I will probably listen to it later on. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to listen to it on my record player right now. I don't think it would give it the full effect, but I'm going to put up some snippets of the MP3s to go with this article. Like I said, just blown away. So let's go ahead and open this up, check it out, because the one thing that blew me away is that they, like a lot of companies now are doing albums in different colors and all kinds of stuff. And I do have the Namco Museum album that eventually I'd like to do a review on, and they did this very same thing where they used a clear vinyl and then they added speckles into it. Now this one, from what I understand, is pink. Kind of like I would say a ball-top joystick would probably be what it was supposed to look like. But yeah, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. I am very happy with this. Okay, let's take a look inside. And it has a sleeve too, and I love that. Oh, okay. Now, if you look at that, that is actually the logo to Satan's Hollow. Now, a fun fact about this movie is they were really trying to reach out to various arcade companies to put their wares on screen. Like I don't know if it was really like an endorsement of any kind or whatever, but they were reaching out to various companies to say, hey, listen, we're doing this arcade movie and we'd really like to show your games off. And the one that came up to them was Midway. So there were two games coming out as they were making the film: Super Pac-Man and Satan's Hollow. So they are two prominent games in the movie. When you're watching the movie, there is an area in the arcade, because this arcade is absolutely amazing. They have an area, it's called the Arena. Now back then, we were blown away by this, because it was like screens almost as big as the wall, and you had these two giant joysticks with buttons on them that you had to stand on and move them around, and it was blown. Today's technology, we could do that no problem at all, but in 1982/83, not possible. Okay, so that's what really blew me away. But the two games that they prominently show in the movie, Super Pac-Man and Satan's Hollow, two of my favorite games, period. So when they did this, they decided to take the Satan's Hollow logo and add joysticks to it. I thought that was really well done. Now, for the piece de resistance, let's see if I can open this thing up and show you the actual album. Are you ready? Look at this. Oh my God. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I mean, to see the effort that these guys put into this album, it just blows my mind. I couldn't ask for anything better than this. I mean, albums back in the late 70s and early 80s, man, if we could have this, like clear plastic, pink, absolutely gorgeous. I just am floored. And I saw pictures, but the pictures online did not do this justice. Eczema Records, you guys have done a fantastic job with this album. I am absolutely blown away. I will be leaving links for the album. I highly recommend it. It's not for everybody's taste. They had a band called Legion who did a lot of the music for this. The music is very late 70s. It really kind of skirts the early 80s a little bit, but it's very late 70s. Very 70s-ish music, if you will. But, there are some really good songs on it. And as a collector's piece, I would say very well recommended, especially for the price. You can't go wrong. It's under $30. You get all of this. You get everything that you see here, okay? And you couldn't ask for a better purchase. I think, in my honest opinion, this was worth every single penny to me. I mean, it's even cool that you can see the actual signature of the person who did the artwork right there in the corner of the cabinet. That's how clear a picture that this is of this basically this was the movie theater poster, which again I would love to have the movie theater poster as well. I'm sad I didn't. Oh my gosh, there's more. Oh my gosh, there's more. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, we can't show that. Wow. Joysticks interviews. Wow. So they did, the album cover again. They did, this is all about the movie score. There are pictures in here. Obviously, I cannot show them to you because some of them are risque at best. So we will not be showing that. But, yeah, this is a lot of effort went into this album. So highly, highly recommend if you're into obscure movies, obscure soundtracks, things like that. Highly recommend it, guys. Go to Eczema Records, check them out. I think it's worth every penny. I mean, look at this printout. It's like a late 80s dot matrix printout of interviews. It is so cool. This is amazing. I mean, look at this. All of this, and really, again, this is not it for everybody. This is not up to everybody's wheelhouse. But if you're into these like late 70s, early 80s teen comedy, that you can't go wrong. This is amazing that they put this much effort into a piece of history, because that's what this is. It's all about history. Whether you like it, whether you hate it, and the archives, that's what I made this for, was the fact that we're looking at arcade history. And again, this is a movie that was about an arcade. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to make a movie about the arcade as a whole, not like Tron, where it was about a guy who creates video games and things like that. An actual arcade. And that's what, to me, stood out the most about this movie. And I know that there is a watered down version online, so I may see about that and maybe posting it and showing everybody that they've removed all the nudity and things like that. So it doesn't alter the story. The story is still there, but to see images of this arcade, it is mind blowing. Because back then, you couldn't record in an arcade because of copyright infringement, things like that. The companies would go nuts if you walked in with a video camera. A regular camera, they weren't too worried about, but if you were walking in with a video camera, they would really be upset about it. So, but anyway, off of my rant, definitely worth the $25, $30 that I spent on this album. It is very cool. Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. And this is the Joysticks soundtrack album from Eczema Records. Highly recommend it. Go check them out. I'll leave a link. Well, you can like it. I'll leave a link in the description on the website. Keep playing like it's 1981. I'll chat with you guys on the flip-flop. Bye.